Good morning, everyone. Just make sure everything is working properly. Okay. Okie dokie. Before we press play, well, I guess we probably could press play. I'm just so nervous to do that. It is... If you guys watched the very first live stream, you saw how difficult this map was. And honestly, even the replay of it has been difficult. But we have 3.8 days left in this bad tide. We still have a good amount of water. We have 1,400. We can store almost 1,800. But now our water source is all the way over here. So we have 3 of them. We have an unstable core. What I'm going to do is get this levee and this dam constructed. Basically, probably we'll do like 2 days before. Well, maybe not even 2 days. We'll do this one 2 days before. This one we might wait until the day of. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, we don't necessarily need these constructed at the beginning. The only benefit is that we do have access to then get these water pumpers up and running faster, but I just don't want there to be bad water trapped in here. So I think it'd be a little difficult to get the bad water flushed out of this area once it's in here, because it's not necessarily going to be flowing around. It's still going to take the, you know, the easiest path. So that's why I'm just going to hold off on this for now. And then I think that we need to make sure we get some water storage set up, because it's so far away from our main colony, and even using haulers is going to take a while. So I want to get those storages, and then I think I want to have some interim ones over here as well. Thankfully we have 120 planks. We're doing pretty good on that. Gears are a little bit short. We do have both of them up and running right now. I might pause, or maybe let's go to the lowest. But I think we need to have some water storage that's kind of close, but not too far away from these guys. But it's not all the way across the map, because I think it'd just be a little bit difficult to set up the storages all the way over here. We do have these, but I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? Morning Sand Artist. And then Steph. Doing pretty well on this Saturday morning. I think you said that you're in the UK, so it's afternoon for you. But we have 3.5 days left. I don't know what the beavers are actually working on right now. We can, well, I think we need to actually change some priorities. So let's bump that to lower. Food, I think we could probably stand to get this stuff constructed. It's not terribly expensive, but we do have this. We want to collect all this stuff. I think we're going to lower the priority on this at the moment, because we need to get all these things constructed. So let's get those set up and these set up. These are all higher. And then maybe we should get this, well, during, oh, well, this will actually continue going. So we'll always have that for power. And then I guess we could, what are we doing on power overall? 236. Okay, so I think if we get this constructed, that'll be fine. We can speed up just a little bit. You're from the Netherlands? Gotcha, just same time zone as the UK, I think. Maybe it's different. I thought you mentioned the UK in your little post, or in your comment. But we're doing good on logs, which is excellent. Food, we could be using some more. We also don't have an oil press at the moment, so we can't process any of this. So there's no point in getting soybeans or canola focusing. I mean, that's why I have these guys focus on cassavas. These are not focused on anything in particular, so they're going to probably be grabbing kohlrabi because it's so close. We do have 4 vacant jobs. I need to check what jobs we are missing right now. So we have, looks like we have 4 lumberjack flags that are lower. We have 5 that are lower, but only 4 of them are unoccupied, so that's good news. And then smelter, that's a lower construction priority. So if we have 5 or fewer, then that's fine, but we have 6 jobs that are vacant, so we need to do a little bit of rearranging. Let's lower that. And I see a beaver got injured, probably in one of these jobs. How's the flow doing when all 4 source flows converge? It's doing pretty good. It looks like it's not overtopping. So right now I think we have as much flow as we're going to get, because during the wet season this will just be producing water instead of bad water. So we have that, and then even if it were to overtop, I mean, it would just like push back a little bit, but we still have that elevation change right here, so we would be protected from that. And then we don't have any dams in here because we don't want that bad water to be backing up. We're doing good on berries. Okay, so they did finish this, so we can pause these 2. He's doing fermented cassavas, which is excellent. We are not maxed out. We can still store some more. We have a couple guys in the industrial lumber mill, 1 in the gear workshop, and then... Ooh, okay. So let's pause all of these guys. And then they'll get all this constructed. Ooh, now we have a vacant, or we have an unemployed beaver. Excellent. Let's bump that up. Make sure we have all our workers. So I think we'll start getting some water storage over here. Let's get rid of this, because we have some that the haulers are going to go grab water from, but then I want them to move it somewhere closer. So if we went, and this is kind of intended just to be temporary, really just a place for them to drop the water off. We can get, let's do 1 medium tank. This will be set to obtain and prioritized by haulers. We do need to switch all of these to just be normal. And then we'll go to every single one, because we don't want the haulers having to walk all the way over here. What we do want is the haulers to bring the water from these tanks, which are set to supply and prioritized by haulers, somewhere else. So that way these guys can keep dumping water into here. And I think if we get just some easy storage right here, then this will be a good interim, because we're still going to have some water, you know, stored up in these ones. We're not going to get down to 0 by the time this bad tide is over, or by the time the drought is over. So we can have this kind of be some extra buffer storage. Can I do a HP estimate? The faction that I used. Yeah, we're on the Iron Teeth for this one, which I think honestly makes it more difficult, because getting their speedy upgrades is the tube ways, but you have to lay down the infrastructure everywhere you want to go. Versus if we just had zip lines, we could just pop a zip line down right here, and then just do some of the, I can't remember what the interim things are called, but the little poles in between the zip lines. and go all the way over here, which I think would have been easier, but I haven't played on the Iron Teeth for live stream in a little while, so. Oh, we also need to reduce our working hours because as we have all this stuff going on over here, the beavers are going to have to take a while to actually walk over here, and that means that they're not going to be able to enjoy their free time as much, just since it's such a long journey. This guy literally fell asleep at the job, so that's the point right there. And then we have a day left, so now we need to get this going. Let's make sure they work on those. We still have logs being prioritized by haulers. Good thing is that they are almost done with all this. And then we do have a beaver who needs a job. Let's see. Still doing good on logs. We can always toss some into the haulers, I guess. Food is fine. Let's do some berry collection. Reduce how many haulers. We could always get some more builder's huts set up down the road, but I think for now we're probably good with just the district center and this guy. Does the game video data always have that blur effect? I think it's my streaming settings, so it's just easier for my computer to handle it. It has to do with the bit rate. So yeah, on my recording videos it can be a little bit different because it's not uploading everything live, but it is just one of the trade-offs. So yeah, I just don't have a crazy strong computer, and I think my upload speed is decent, but not anything to write home about. Why do we have hungry beavers? And they're probably working on getting everything set up over here, which they are almost done with. They just have a few more of those tanks. Oh, and they're also getting this done. Okay, so they're not going to finish this tonight, but I think that's okay. And then we have to start switching some jobs. So let's pause 4 builders, and then we're going to pause those guys. And then what else can we pause? We don't necessarily need the lumberjacks going, but we can also pause the fluid dump for now. So we only have, oh no, well, the thing that I didn't want happened. So we have some bad water in there, unfortunately. So we'll see how that goes. But now let's bump that up. We still have a worker to spare. Okay, I think we need to start prioritizing this stuff also. So this will all be higher. And then let's just make sure these are all set to obtain. Yeah, these guys are somehow pumping water, but it's not going to be as effective. Drats. So I think what we have to do is try and block this. So I didn't really want to have to do it this way, but there is some water flowing into here, which is good, but I think we'll probably want to get it, well, I mean, it is pushing. They're not super efficient, but they're doing what they can. Okay, we'll see how the haulers do. I think we want to get this constructed first. They are finishing this one. We probably also need to have some food nearby, so they don't have to run all the way back. Let's do a couple. We'll just have this set to fermented cassavas because we have a lot of those. And we'll bump those up to highest because they're really easy to construct. So we're at 1.1 thousand water. Let's see how much we actually get. Okay, we still have an unemployed beaver. Let's reduce this, and then we'll have a couple more builders. Because we still have, it was I think 5 jobs that we could spare in the lumberjack flag, so we can actually bump that up to 4. Help get these storages constructed. But I am glad to see we have a little bit more water in here. We might not need this, but I think I'll probably just set it up anyways. 150 signs for a floodgate. I mean, a floodgate would be kind of nice, but I don't think it's essential at the moment. And there's an airplane right outside. Okay, so they are working on this. They're getting this first one constructed. On the bright side, we also have a bucket of succulents, so it's kind of a little bit of a backup water supply. And then each one produces 1 water. So this is, I mean, how far would you say that is? Probably like 20 by 15-ish. So it's a solid 300 water. So that could get us out of a pinch. But these guys, they're prioritized by haulers, so hopefully they'll get some food soon. Water's hovering at around 1,000 still. See how they do. Now they actually have some food. They won't have to leave to go as far if they need to get some food for themselves. But we're on cycle 7, day 2. I feel like everything just has to shift towards water collection, at least during the wet season on this map, just because it's so far away. I know it's called Nomads and they might want you to migrate, but I can't imagine moving your entire colony over here in one go. I just don't think it's possible. Maybe it is if you had a really ragtag team, but it's not something I could do. Hello, Mr. Awesome Dairy. Yep, we are staying alive, doing our best. I'm hoping that the water will continue to go up, but right now it's hovering around 1.1 thousand. You did the map during the week and only just scraped by a few times. So you say the water from the succulents isn't worth it due to the damage taken? Get more from running 2 extra pumps instead of cutting the trees down. Yeah, I don't intend to use this as a primary water source. This is just a backup, because if we don't pump enough water during the wet season, then we want to have access to this. And I think that we probably need to start getting some more water pumpers constructed, because I don't think that right now we're actually pumping enough. So we can add a couple more. These guys are both highest priority. So it just takes a while for the beavers to get over here in the first place. Yeah, we are not pumping enough. So let's get another, we're gonna go crazy on water pumpers. Okay, so everything's prioritized. We have 1 vacant job. If we had 4 water pumpers, we'll have 5 vacant jobs, so that is okay. And unfortunately, these guys are just not as efficient since there's some bad water in here. It's slowly getting out of here, Would have been nice to have constructed all this stuff first, or maybe not construct these two in the very beginning, but it is what it is. So we do have these. They're storing some extra water, which is good news. 1.2 thousand. We're going up a little bit. We have some more children, so I might pause just one of the breeding pods for now. Still making fermented cassavas. Oh yeah, we have some berries that we were collecting. Is this guy even... Yeah, we're maxed out, so let's pause him. We can unpause a lumberjack flag. And then, with any extra jobs that we have vacant, those are all pulling from lumberjack flags right now. So I guess it's not the end of the world. Okay, so we have some extra water storage over here, which means that we are not limited at the moment by water storage close by. We'll see what happens. I mean, at this point it's kind of just a waiting game, not really focusing on a whole lot of other stuff. They're still working on constructing this. The bomb and the sources are gonna get them out. Oh, we gotta add in a path. You had a 3x3 water pond for about 30 beavers and was missing the workers a few times. Yeah. You sent a contaminated beaver off to Super Happy Funland. I have not started building towards the next area. This one just started up. I think we have at least 2 or 3 cycles. And then I think that the next one is this guy under here, which I was planning on having us pump from maybe this area. And we have a bad tide approaching, so we're gonna get 7 days out of it. Yeah, because we're on day 5, so we'll get day 6 and 7 as well. We are at 1300 water. They are getting actually close to filling this up, so let's add in some more water storage. We'll make sure all this is set to higher priority. But yeah, they are starting to fill this up more. This stuff isn't getting filled up yet. These guys might just dump their water over here once these ones get filled up, so that's okay. But 1.6 thousand, I am glad to see it's starting to go up even more. We have all this stuff that they will work on at some point. But then during the bad tide, 4 water pumpers and another 8 water pumpers, so it's 14 jobs that we'll get back. So that is good news. They'll continue working on this. We have 5 vacant jobs, but like I said, it's all contained in the lumberjack flag. But we can pause this guy, unpause the other forester because there's some trees to be planted. And then we're still doing not good on food, actually. This guy, we still have a good amount of cassavas. Let's actually prioritize him by haulers. So we'll focus on food a little bit more during the bad tide. But we will probably need to start thinking about this. I think I actually want to get some corn planted. Maybe we can replace the kohlrabi, because the kohlrabi is decent, but all you get is 2 kohlrabi from 1 crop. Versus corn, I think you get 2 from each crop. But I know it takes longer, but you get 5 corn rations from 1 corn. And then the well-being benefit is also more. So let's also switch this guy. We'll kind of rotate through. We're adding in these. Oh, we also have these water. These are set to supply. Let's go. Let's just set it to normal. So that way the beavers feel like they can dump water in here. Yeah, they're starting to fill all this up. But we're also at 2,000 water. So that is excellent. 0.4 days until the bad tide hits. And then during the bad tide, we can switch all of these to be supply and then shift all the water over here. So they'll clear this out. And then we'll just go from there, I guess. We're still getting... Okay, pause real quick. I guess we can just pump the water out of here. So we'll just continue like that. Okay, there's not really going to be much water for them to pump out of here. Yeah, we'll pause these guys. But the beavers over here, they can keep pumping. Let's see. 45 mushrooms take 8 days for 60 water. And become 180 fermented mushrooms. 60 water is 20 pump hours total. So it's very water efficient. No planter harvest time, just water haul. It's until cycle 9 if you're not mistaken. What are we on? Cycle 7? So that means we have 2 cycles until this goes away. I think one thing we need to make sure we really get sorted out is metal blocks. Because we're going to need the tube stations for moving around. So we're going to bump that up now that we are out of the wet season. So we're not pumping as much. These guys are still pumping what they can. But you can see we filled all this stuff up. We can undo all this because we don't necessarily need all the water stored in here now. And then we can move a lot of the water back into here. These are all kind of temporary, but for now we can just have these 3 set to obtain, so they should be moving the water out of here. There's still green space, so there's clearly water that they're pumping. We do have an unemployed beaver, so we can start turning some of these buildings back on. Ooh, we need some more wood. Okay, we do have a lumberjack flag. We have 2. Let's duplicate this guy. Get another one over here. I mean, we don't really need planks at the moment. We'll turn it on at some point, but for now I think we're doing okay. I think we also need to get this guy going, at least for now, just to get some more food up and running. And then let's start switching some of this. So we're going to remove all the kohlrabi, and then we'll just start planting corn as they harvest it. And then we might need to expand our irrigation zones. We have cassavas over here, but if we place down some water, that'll spread all along here. There is some contamination, but it doesn't go up. Down the road, we will have this water source that will potentially contaminate here. But I think at that point, we could get some irrigation barriers set up. So that being said, I think 600 science is quite a bit. Because if we place down just 3 and then detonated this, that could make it pretty easy to do. So let's do that. We also have access to dynamite, but we're not using it yet, so I think this will be a good idea. We can then also place some stairs. We'll get a fluid dump set up, and then unfortunately I think we need to remove these because they're not, I mean, I guess we could. Oh, so we're maxed out on, wait. Oh, I thought that was a beaver sitting there. Yeah, they can't quite reach this. Let's see. If we go like this, how many things can we fit over here? Get a couple of farmhouses. We probably will remove maybe both of those, maybe just one. Let's get that corn placed down. And then let's just make sure these guys, okay, so there's no water over here. I mean, there's like a little bit, but I think we're gonna be fine. I think we want to use these beavers elsewhere. Now we have 3 unemployed beavers. Let's get that forester back online. We can also get a gather flag and a discharge. Planks are starting to go down, so we'll get that sorted. We don't need as many haulers, so we can drop that. Excellent, we have the smelter up and running now. And then it looks like they also have this metalsmith going. So we have some parts. This guy's collecting scrap metal. We can get another one. But this will be a low priority workplace. Excellent. Okay, so they can fit all the water through here. This this produces the same amount of power as these ones. So let's start going like this. I just want to get this constructed as fast as possible, because I bet we're not running at full efficiency since this is 75 HP. Says it somewhere. This one I think is 200, and then this is 50. So we do need to get this one connected in. We also need to get some more houses. Can we? Oh, nice. I like seeing that. Let's duplicate this. Excellent. And then we are out of gears, so we gotta unpause this guy as well. And then let's just duplicate this. I think actually we can do that because they can go from the side. So let's get all of these bumped up. In fact, we'll just go highest. And then since we are planting corn, we're going to need to get the food factory constructed. How much science does that cost? That is 300, so it's not too much. Oh my goodness, so many people chit-chatting. I love it. Let's see, Cycle 19. Oh my gosh, I missed so much. algae and canola. That's a good thing to consider. Your beavers are homeless until cycle 19. It's quite a while. You can call PETA on him. That's funny. Let's see, once you got a pipe going across the length, you can save a build cost by laying new pipes straight to the middle. Yes. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you there. Hey, Sand Artist, glad you're doing better. Yeah, we're running short on planks now. So we have those 2 beavers in there. But now, producing a good amount of power. We also, I think, are just going to plan for the future. So let's get some more set up. And then we can connect it in pretty easily. But we'll leave that as normal priority. This one is still... I mean, they just need a few more gears. Let's just finish that off. And then we can also start clearing some of these other ones out. Food is still pretty low, so I'm not loving that. Let's get one of these farmers sorted out. Can also detonate this. Let's see, so we'll put... because we could go right here. We'll do a fluid dump. Discharge. And then I know that we want to get those sorted out, but for now we'll just do this. We'll also get this one higher. Okay, we have a few beavers in there. They are starting to work on this. I'll probably change this. We might just pause this one for now. Excellent, those are all high priority. Same with that one. So now we have an extra farmhouse. And then soon we'll have 2 extra. So that should help out with food. We have some lumberjack flags. They're chopping wood. Planks, they're working on that. Same with gears. We got those guys going. We're producing just enough power. So we'll get this up and running down the road. We'll place one right here. Eventually we'll place this guy right here. I think we'll need to go up above. So we could even just start doing that here. Now we're not going to be using all of this quite yet. And then this is a little bit ahead, but might as well give them something to work on if they need to. This stuff can all be a little bit lower priority though. I think we'll leave this one as normal. They're getting the houses kind of constructed. And then let's actually get all this prioritized. And once they remove those, we'll get the last 2 pieces of dynamite placed down. And then I think over here we'll finish off. We'll do cassavas on this upper row. And then down here we can get some more corn planted. We also need to keep thinking about getting some more stuff set up over here. The food factory, 300 science. I think we should unlock it. And then we could place it right here if we wanted. We could go like this. We'll place it here. Oh wait, the power... Here, I'm gonna pause it. The power is weird for this building because it doesn't transfer. It's only here. Yeah, so it's on the corners. We just have some space behind. I don't exactly want to abandon that. I think it's okay if we do that. We'll just do this. And I think we can have a path and access back here later. But we'll get the corn rations set. Still have 4 in there. 13 homeless beavers I think we gotta get. So many things I want to prioritize. They are gonna get these sorted first. Then we'll do one of these next because it'll house 10 more beavers. The levee one behind the middle next to it is the most effective for funneling flow. Yeah, I guess we could do, you know, one of these in the middle, but it's easier to construct if we just have 2 and then 1 on the side. So these guys look like they're both doing fine. Oh, 126 and 110. 236. Okay, so it adds up to the same. Just fewer resources, right? Because this is 25 versus an extra levy is only 12. $1.6 thousand water. We have 6.2 days left. We have 13 scrap metal or metal blocks. We are very low on planks. We have a lot that we need to build. We're doing good on wood. We haven't started constructing this, so I think we're going to actually remove it for now and duplicate this guy. We just need to have more planks because that's kind of essential for a lot of things. Food is also still low. Even with this guy going, I think we could probably just duplicate this guy. Let's do this. We're going to set him up. Do need to have another platform and a path. We're also going to bump this up a little bit higher. Looks like they are working on getting this constructed. They're just a little bit short on planks. But now they have this one going. I don't think we need as many haulers. Should we... Oh. You know what we do need to do? We have to set all these to supply. Because we want to get the water out of here. So that we have it free for the next wet season. So, those are all set to be prioritized. Have a lot to manage. Because we've been getting a little bit lucky with the events. So like this was only a 12-day bad tide, but they can get up to 30 days. And we need to be able to store a lot of water. And then we can also switch this. Oh, that one's already going. Never destroy water tanks and let the haulers go hauling all over the place instead. At some point we'll duplicate these and then place some more down over here. But I think for now, yeah, we'll just leave it because we still have some of these smaller water tanks nearby. And then, yeah, we're just short on planks. We should probably get some wood storage. Also, I meant to remove this. And then we do have the metalsmith right here. Oh, we are maxed out on storage. Okay, so let's see. We got to kind of figure out what we want to do for storage. We can go... Let's see. Do we want to do like this? I think we can go right here. We'll have one set to... Oh, okay. Well... One for metal blocks. Oh my gosh, this guy's paused. High priority. And then that's really it. Scrap metal we could... Maybe we do this. And then we could get... There's so many different configurations. Except instead of berries, we'll have it set to metal parts. Let's also get that one. High prioritize, and then berries. Switch those to cassavas. So if we can just get some extra raw cassava stored up, that'll be helpful for if we are running short on some of the raw products. And then we also got to get this guy added in. But on the bright side, they did finish everything over here. We can remove this, get the last piece of dynamite placed down, and then keep getting some corn planted. And at this point, we're going to get rid of these because they are taking up space that we could be using. We'll collect that and then get that corn. And then we'll just fill in all the little pieces of green space that we can. And then we could just add in some stairs right here to get up top. "4.1 days until the drought or the bad tide is over." We've cleared out a good amount of this, not quite all of it. Ooh, we still have these set to supply. We have too many things that the haulers are focusing on. We also have 7 vacant jobs, so I'm not loving that. What are we building? We pause this guy. I think we can probably pause. We're doing okay on wood. Oh, let's pause this guy. And then farmers, they are not sitting around, so they're still harvesting stuff. But I don't think we need quite this many. We added a few. So these guys, is this just gonna keep getting pushed around? That is funny. Oh wait, collect this before it's out of range. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of water and logs. Okay, then we have an unemployed beaver. Turn that back on. I think we can get the breeding pod going again. They are going over here. Looks like that is almost done. We're pretty much at full power, not quite, but we're close enough. Not a good idea to constrict the river, as you can funnel more water down that path. You don't want bad water overflowing. Which river are you talking about? I mean, this one, it's constricted, yes, but it's not too constricted. Because it's only this one bad water source. So if it were to overtop, it would have already overtopped. So here we only have it down to, you know, 1, but it's also not multiple rivers flowing into one. And then even if it, like worst case scenario, let's say it did start constricting or did start overtopping, we could just remove a levee and replace it with a water wheel. So I think we'll be fine there. But I'm just a little nervous about food. And obviously we're setting all this up so we can have enough power. So they are almost done with that. We can just bump it up. Cassavas, we don't really have a whole lot. How are we doing? Oh, we also need to get a food factory. And then also we're going to be in trouble if we have a drought and not a bad tide. So we're pretty lucky that we've had a bad tide so far. If we go to water, bad water pressurizer. So that is crazy expensive in terms of science and resources. But we would probably want that eventually to keep this bad water source flowing. But we'll need to get an engine. And I know one of you guys mentioned to get these metal parts up and running because it just takes a while. So thank you for that. We have now started to store some. We might want to be unlocking the engine soon. It requires water and logs. So it's not ideal, but I mean, we got to do something for power because we can't just like have all this stuff not going. Also, we can pause this, both of these guys, because now we have 2 fermenters going. We're short on the materials that we need. And then I think we also need to get a, what's it called? An oil press. Takes it 50 HP. Let's also finish this off. Oh, the engine is now the steam engine. Yeah, less water and logs, which is good. There we go. This guy will do corn rations. I don't think we have corn quite yet, but this should be pretty close. Yeah, some of it's close. And then I'm not putting a path through here. I have it right here, so we can just finish planting all this. Cassavas. And then we probably need to get, yeah, we need to get that oil press so we can actually use the canola. We have some space over here. I'm just trying to think of the geometry that I want to set it up. We can also, let's see, if we do a path over here, we could fit some buildings back here. We could do another big one and then a small one. And then we just want the power. We'll do this. And then for now, we'll just, oh, we can't do it that way. For now, we'll just set up a couple of these. And then we'll get the oil press placed right here. And then I think I'll do like a smelter or something. And then we'll top that off. And then how much does this cost? 120? Yeah, we have enough for that. And then this one is obviously set. Yeah, you don't have a recipe for the oil press. But then soon we can, ooh, you know what we should do? We have cassavas. Let's just store, because we're going through those pretty quick. Let's go through some soybeans. We can store soybeans in here. And then they can put some extra in here. Then we can switch one of these to be fermented soybeans down the road. We also probably want to store some canola oil somewhere. We got a lot going on. Let's see, we could do it like this. We also might want to connect this in, because right now they have to go around. Yeah, so we'll just do a little bit of storage. Nothing crazy. just so we have somewhere to actually put it. And he is waiting. We don't have any crops yet, so we'll leave that. Okay, 1.3 days until the drought. Looks like we've cleared out most of this. And then these are all still set to supply. So I think if we have... These don't have water in it, which is fine. As long as we leave these ones set to obtain, we can switch these ones to obtain. And I think that they'll just move the water from here over to here when it's convenient for them. So we are down to below 1,000 water. And on the right side we did get this sorted. So now there's going to be water just getting pushed through here. These guys will be efficient from the get-go. So we have that going for us at least. Have a bunch of corn. We can probably pause this guy. We'll switch this one. And then we're starting to get some canola oil, which means we can switch him to fermented soybeans because we do have some soybeans stored up. Okay, 0.7 days. It is just about go time. So now we're going to switch all of these to obtain and prioritize by haulers. We got a lot right here, but we have somewhere to store that water. We did almost fill it up completely. So now that we're doing a little bit better, maybe we just duplicate this guy, place him down right here. And then we do need to start thinking about getting those, getting the tube station up and running. But we also have to think about the engine, so we can actually build stuff. Get a number cruncher. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Number cruncher would be a good investment. I think we also have to get that engine, because we are going to be able to... Ooh, let's also start changing some jobs around. So we're going to pause this guy, pause him, pause him. I think we'll leave gears going. I don't think we can really sacrifice food. Oh, we don't have trees growing. Pause, unpause him, pause the berry boy. We'll pause one of the farmers. We have to bump that up, and then we're going to pause the builder's hut. So we have 9 jobs. Unpause all these guys because they're going to have access to water first. And now we're 826 water. We'll see. So after 12 days, we went from like 2,000 to 800. So that's 1,200 water in 12 days. So 100 per day. Okay, well, that makes it a little bit easy. You have these guys pumping. These guys are going to be pumping pretty quickly. We don't really need this, I don't think. Three vacant jobs is okay because it's all in the lumber or in the lumberjack flags. Keep this oil press going. How are we doing on... Oh my gosh, we have so much canola seed. So he's going to have enough for a while. We still have... Ooh, we don't really have soybeans. This guy probably is almost done. Wait, he's doing fermented cassavas. Yeah, this guy can't do what he needs to. So switch him to fermented cassavas now. Ooh, we're starting to get some corn also. Maybe we pause him for a little bit and then turn on this guy. Start making some corn rations. Have these farmhouses prioritize corn because we don't really care about the kohlrabi as much. Okay, 1.1 thousand. We'll see how this goes. And then we need to start thinking about going to the next place, which is over here. How do you want to get over here? It's not like terribly far. In fact, it's like right here. Let's actually unmark all these. So we're not even chopping all these trees down. So let's pause this guy. There's a lot of planes going in and out of the airport today. I don't know if you guys can hear, but I can. So we could get some water pumpers over here. It's going to be pumping only at half efficiency though. Because if we go down in elevation, so we have the bad water source, and so that's going to fill this up, and then it will start spilling over here, and then once it's filling this up, that will initially go through here and then spill down into this area. Otherwise, if we do block this, then it will go and fill this up. And I don't think that goes anywhere. So then once that's filled up, it'll keep going up, and then it will overtop over all this, unless we clear this out. And then it's going to come down and flow through our main valley, which we don't want. If it goes this way, that could be okay. We would probably need to widen this. Because I know one of you guys mentioned overtopping bad water. We wouldn't want that happening over here. These ones would be unaffected since they are on a different, leg of the channel. But if it was going over here, we need to widen this one. So that would be something to think about. But there's so many things to do to get that all set up. But I mean, we probably should start sooner rather than later. I don't like removing trees, but I think we gotta get some space cleared out for water pumpers. So we're gonna remove all these trees. I think they have stuff they're working on constructing, so they probably won't do that quite yet. Also, I just want to clear all this out. How many viewers are working in the district center? Maybe knock it down to 2 during the wet season. Yeah, we have 3 vacant jobs. Right now, all those vacant jobs are in these lumberjack flags because we have 5 of them that are set to lower priority. So we still have a lumberjack flag in here. I don't necessarily need to have more lumberjack flags right now. We're doing good on food's okay. This guy's making his corn. We could probably get some more storages. Just store some of the raw materials. Let's do this one for corn, wherever that is, and then do cassavas, soybeans, canola. And somehow their well-being went up. Oh, it's probably because of the new food that they're eating. 1.4 thousand. I am really liking that. We're on day 3. So I guess we're kind of partway into day 3. So that was 600 water in just over 2 days. So 300 per day. I do like that. I'm guessing it's going to be a drought this next go around, which means we definitely need to focus on over here. Let's get this and this one high priority, and then we'll want to get a steam engine so we can remove this stuff. We can fit one. We can fit another one right here if we just placed a couple of these down. So this is 150 science. We could do something different. We're not doing like great on logs or planks. We need to get this unlocked. So now we have 148. Let's do that. Okay, those ones are good. So let's get that final one placed down. And then we can also get the engine. Get the first one placed right here. Make sure it's prioritized by haulers. All that good stuff. We'll pause it once they actually construct it because we don't need it quite yet. And then we'll get another one. So let's just leave it like that. No trees on the green. They've done everything except the wheels. You mean no trees over here? No trees over here. I assume that's what you're talking about. But no trees just because it's not... And we have so many logs right now. We have not chopped down all this stuff, so we're doing great on wood. And then also, this stuff will... I mean, it's not permanent green space. At best, we have like 8 days of greenery. So, not really worth planting stuff over here. And it's really far away. So... We do have some trees over here. Food is looking better. I can unpause this guy. Kind of cycle around the different discharges that we have going. We're doing pretty good. Things are looking on the uppity up. We need to move. We need to get rid of even more. I guess we'll let them do that first. In terms of these guys. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we'll just wait on this. I think we do want to bump a few of these up on the priority list. And then just keep going like that. We'll then need to get up here. And so then it's just the journey, the journey upwards. So we need to go over here so we can remove that. Probably sooner rather than later. We need to get over here. Because, okay, so this has not been announced that it's, you know, coming online soon. So I think we get, it was like 11 or 12 days heads up. Maybe it's more than that. But about that many days. So once that countdown is started, we need to plug the hole right over here. But I don't want us to have to get the infrastructure built right as we find out that it's going to come online. So I want to be able to get over here and then maybe we focus on, you know, getting that sorted. Also, we can't build on top of this thing. So they were probably pretty intentional about that because it's not going to be exactly easy to get over here. We have some options. We can do overhangs. I think we would need a 3x1. Oh, that might not even be enough either. Well, I guess we could, because we could just do overhang and then overhang on top of that. So that's 550 science. Still a ways away from that. Also, we have some unemployed beavers. Let's get fermented soybeans. We have some soybeans. And then we're still doing decent on logs. I think I want to get... Ooh, do we need some more of this? I bet we do. Yeah, we have no metal parts. And they need metal parts. Should probably just leave this guy going all the time. Countdown start is cycle based. Okay, so I'll have decent heads up. Switch this. Just gotta keep going around the different discharges. Okay, we have maxed out our canola oil. So we'll pause him. This guy's still running full time. We might need another one of these guys. And then if we just got over here, it'd be much easier to connect everything in. So I think we should probably do that. We just need to add in a few platforms. And then just add in some stairs. But this is like not super high priority, so let's just lower all this. I think we want to actually get this one constructed sooner so we can get that engine up and running when we need to. Oh my gosh, they've filled this water up. And we're at 2.1 thousand. Yeah, so we have a drought approaching. So we need to get, yeah, this engine going. So they're working on this. Engine, short run gears and metal parts. Well, on the right side, we're doing decent on water. If it's a 20-day or longer drought, then we're going to be in trouble. Because they have filled all this up. And we could maybe add in just a little bit more. But they're getting this sorted. I mean, it's not going to be ready quite immediately. So they're doing scrap metal. He has some in here, so they can just pop on over and grab it. We could also make it easier on them. Well, they probably... Yeah, they're just having the scrap or the metal parts taken out by the builders and then placed right into here. So for now, just to make it slightly more efficient, we can do this. But we don't need both the paths down the road. And so we have this going, the tube-way station. That's 700 science. Okay, he is not doing anything. He probably... Yeah, we don't have any corn ration storage. We don't really need to do anything in here. So we can add this guy. So we'll just get a medium warehouse on top. Not super important at the moment. So this would just be something they work on if they have something they need to do. This guy is good. Let's pause him. We're just going to start getting ready for a water pumper. But they don't need to work on this quite yet. This will also be lower, but the workplace will be highest. Okay, I'm going to take a quick restroom break. I'll be back momentarily. Okie dokie. 1.9 days until that drought hits. But I'm feeling decent. 2.2 thousand water. We're getting this constructed. We could probably get some more. And we're just trying to like store as much water as we can. Yeah, having those tubes would be helpful, but I think since we have, you know, maybe one more wet season with these water pumpers, plus we also have, since it's a drought, there's going to still be water in here that we'll have them pump. So we'll just leave, maybe we'll leave these 4 going plus a few of them, but we don't need to have all these guys going when that drought hits. Well, we are starting to get set up over here. We have the infrastructure laid out. This guy cannot get everything, so we'll pause him. Let's unpause the builders' huts because we have some unemployed beavers. Yeah, food's honestly not looking great. We do have a bunch of corn. We can turn into corn rations. Oh my goodness, we have a lot of corn. We'll have these guys focus on corn. So now we only have 1, 2, 3 farmhouses on pause. We'll leave these guys also on pause. So now I need to change those jobs around again. We're down to 2. And then we'll just rotate through our discharges. $2.4 thousand water, so I think we only had 2,000 when the last event happened. 28 metal parts. Okay, so how long does it take? It takes 3 hours to make 1, so they're probably making maybe 5 per day if we're lucky. So we'll get this constructed barely. It'll probably be right after the drought hits. So, okay. We're doing what we can. But thank you to whoever it was who recommended to get the metalsmith going. Because I think that was definitely a great suggestion. Getting it set up close to the scrap metal collection and to start it early. We're doing decent on planks. Gears we're still running short on. And then we have a decent amount of scrap metal. We could always collect this and this, but I think we would pivot toward, well, maybe we'd move our metalsmith over here if we needed to. Let's see, wouldn't it be pretty easy to get the water source to flow up and the other way by walling it off? Seems like would make a big reservoir maybe. Ooh. Are you talking about the next water source, this one right here? Because I hear what you're saying. That would actually be pretty cool if we could just store some water in here. I think maybe we'd want to do, I guess we could just use dams. Because if we did some, I mean, we just put a bunch of levees. Well, yeah, because I see what you're saying. If we wanted to try and fill this up with water, we'd obviously need to block this off with for the bad tide or for the bad water. But I think we have, right now we just need to focus on getting this done. This is almost constructed, so we'll get that sorted. Hopefully we can store up some more metal parts once we get this engine going. And then I really want to start thinking about the tubes. But unfortunately, those are also crazy expensive. And it might be worth getting a number cruncher, which it costs a lot of power. We'd probably only, I mean, let's see. 11 days. Okay, so that's not a bad drought. I think we'll be, honestly, I think we'll be in good shape. Let's pause some of these guys. We'll pause 4 of them. We'll leave these 4 running. We now have some beavers who need a job, and we can provide for them. Yeah, so this is going to be done momentarily once these guys get their scrap metal produced into metal parts. I'm just going to leave these on for now because it's going to be so quick, I think. Oh, I don't love this. We're going to remove that guy and then add in, I'll get rid of this tree. And then let's add in a, yeah, we'll go, there's no point in going up here then. That's not true. But we are going to go this way. We could actually do this. Oh, we'll need to go up 1 more. And then we can go around. Yeah, so we'll just have a lumberjack flag up here eventually, and they'll use some of the logs to get all this constructed. And they'll put a staircase so they can just build all this at once. And we still have some beavers who need a job, so we're going to toss them into the farmhouse. Excellent, we have this guy going. Let's double check how much power we are using tomorrow. So now we can change it, so let's see. So we set to supply and do the most tedious clicking tasks. Okay. Switch all this, so this is all set to supply now. They'll start moving some of the water into here. Let's get some... Oh wait, I wanted to check. So now we're not producing enough because I turned on this smelter. Doing pretty good on those. I don't know if it's worth doing it this way. We have a little bit of extra power. We can toss it into this. They're still working on getting this constructed. This will be helpful. Okay, so what was I was talking about the number cruncher. So the number cruncher, 10 science per hour. It costs 1,500. If we have it powered only during the wet season, at minimum it's 6 days, so that'd be 24 hours times 6, which is 142, I think. 142 hours. So that would almost be paying for itself in terms of science after one wet season. If we get some more engines constructed, then we can run it more, which might be worth it. Really starting on that process by getting this going. Honestly, I think we could do a couple more of these guys, which means that we'll need to turn this to a normal priority job. Also, let's help them out, move them a little bit closer. We'll do 2 more. Let's see, 4 high wall levees, you think 5 or 6 stacks to close in the sources? Yeah, you're talking about over here, I'm assuming. Yeah, so we got 3 water sources. And then yeah, it would take a lot to, I mean, we could block it off, but then we have the water, you know, and then it would go over here, which we don't necessarily want. We could start getting funky if we, I mean, if we had impermeable flooring, we could have it go up and then over here, because we'd have the bad water flowing through here, but I think that's a little far-fetched. We're not doing great on food. I am not loving this. We do have another farmhouse going now, but we might need to do this. We have the food factory. We're still maxed out on canola. Do we just have no soybeans? I guess it's these guys. Okay, so they're prioritizing cassavas. We'll have these guys prioritize soybeans so we can have some diversity of food. For now, we switch him to cassavas. Also, we need to get some more berries. We'll have this guy turn back on. Playing around with the jobs. 2.6 thousand water. They are still pumping. So this is a nice little extra source of water. So we're going to be in a good spot, I think, come the next event. In fact, we might even need to... We're still short on gears. So we could get some more gears going. Well, we don't really have enough power to get that up and running right now, but we could plan for the future and just place down a couple of these. Obviously, we're not going to be using them yet. Okay, so we're, yeah, still short on gears. We have some metal parts over here. We'll set this to a lowest priority. Same with this one will be lower. And then what can we do for their well-being? I think science is something we also need to think about. We have 3 inventor sets, but we just have so many things we need to do. So I think before we can go to the tube station, which I would really love to do, I think the number cruncher is the next thing, which requires a bucket of gears and metal parts and science. So we're working on the metal parts. The gears will be going. This is prioritized. We have everything we need. I think we might have too much prioritized by haulers. So maybe we unprioritize a lot of this. Because we need to have those going. Okay. Yeah, this is like kind of essential. Haulers have too much. Oh, they're still bringing water out of here. Yikes. I think it's fine we leave those prioritized by haulers. But you can't like bump it up. There's no like hauler priority list. I need to get bigger storage of wood going. 200 logs is not a lot at this point. See, I hear you, and I don't disagree. But right now we have a lot of logs stored up. It's just in the trees. So we could always turn on some of these lumberjack flags, add a few more. Which, yeah, 200, 150 is not a whole lot. But we do have a constant supply. Each of these is 8. And it's just trying to balance, you know, survival. Oh, I want to unpause this guy. Because, yeah, we're trying to plan for the future. They're working on getting all this constructed. Is this all? Oh, it's all lower. Okay. Finally, we actually have some resources in here. So that'll last for 49.9 hours. But yeah, we have 9 jobs that are vacant right now. So we're 500 science, we're getting up there. We'll need to get those constructed. I think we'll want to bump this to normal priority. And then we can get the number cruncher constructed. We might just, let's see, number cruncher doesn't need to be close by. We could put that up here. Since we're probably not going to be doing a whole lot over in this area, I think we could get some more engines placed over here, because that's close by. For the next water source, levee is a great help. For the next 2 after that, I really need a lot of logs and planks if I want a big reservoir of water. Yeah, I haven't been planning on making reservoirs just because it moves around so much. And then also the fact that we have bad tides, which would mean setting up not only a reservoir, but a diversion system, which is normally a good investment if you're going to be there for a while, but we're not going to be anywhere for that long except for the final one. 22 metal parts. Still got all these guys. I just want tubes. That's always what I like getting with the iron teeth is tubes. Pause him. Oh, we are... Let's do this. We're going to unpause him. And then we're going to change this to be higher priority so we can actually store some corn rations. And then I think we might even just duplicate this temporarily. This is literally just going to be somewhere to store some. Let's see, we're going through our cassavas. We do have some soybeans. We still are doing great on canola. Let's switch this guy to fermented soybeans for now. And then we're doing okay on planks. I don't know when they're going to start working on that. Let's get that engine going. We could do this. Get a small pile. Still have 800 science relic across. Oh yeah, we do have the relics. We got one right here. And then I think we also have another one up top. Ooh, I like this. Kind of forgot about that, honestly. So what would it take to get over here? I think it would just take... Wouldn't take a whole lot, honestly. We'll just place down some stairs. And there's no water or bad water going into here yet. There might down the road, I'm not sure. Let's do this. Set to demolish. We'll bump it up. I don't think that changes what they're doing to get this done. So it's just when this will be available, they'll remove it. Yeah, that'll be helpful getting that number cruncher. I think we obviously need to have the infrastructure up to support it. We clearly don't have enough metal parts right now, even with 4 of them going. We're producing 1.3 every hour. So for 16 hours of working, which is probably closer to like 14, it means we're only getting like, I mean, what is that? 17 per day, maybe? So it's going to take about a week to get enough metal parts. Right? Yeah, about a week. A beaver week to get the number cruncher unlocked. And we still have gears to contend with. So 2.4 thousand water. I am loving that. Oh, we can also pause all these guys. Should have done that earlier. But if we wanted, I know I've done quite a bit. I've added a lot of water storage over here, and it's all going to be kind of useless down the road. We also might just not need to focus as heavily on water during this next wet season. So, which that might be my famous last words, but we'll leave those 4 going. We'll turn some of these on, maybe not all of them. I think we'll still have it all prioritized by haulers, but yeah, we're doing... Uh-oh. That is not good. Oh gosh. Let's get some water in here. Oh, thank goodness. He's getting water delivered to him. Okay. That was a little close. Almost lost a bunch of corn. Okay, so they are over here. We have 4 vacant jobs. That's okay. Let's get this guy going. Pump it up for both. He'll get some trees chopped down. Obviously we can't reach these yet. We'll just have him get those. And then that'll be helpful for getting those constructed. And then once we're over here, move this over just a little bit. Boom, boom. And then as long as we connect that path in, yeah, I don't think, because we couldn't cap this. That would be a lot. Yeah, we already talked about that. 4,000 science is way too much. So we could just demolish that. And then we are over here. So now we can think about making our way down. And I think what we can do is start doing some dynamite to go down instead of having to place down a bunch of levees and stuff. We have 28 dynamite at the moment. So we can spare, that'll be 10. Not even 10. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll go like this. So we'll just go one at a time, going downwards. We are running a little bit short on wood now. Oh, their well-being went up. Okay, pause this guy. We don't need him. I'll get the gear workshop at some point. Excellent. So now we're producing plenty of power. So we got all that going. So now we're doing, oh, we're short on workers. Maybe pause. No, we need metal. Or metal parts, like we talked about. Down in haulers. Food's looking better. As long as we don't have beavers sitting around in the farmhouses, then I think we're doing okay. This guy is not doing anything. We can unpause, or we can pause him. Oh my gosh, we never detonated this. He'll keep filling that up. We're still doing good on berries. We'll leave him going for a little while. Okay, we're pretty balanced in terms of jobs and workers. Let's go get some science. Let's see. Same speed as gears. Heading out, Mr. Awesome Dairy. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like we're actually doing decent at this point. There was nothing last cycle. Makes you nervous. Like they thought I needed the prep time. Yes. Yeah. I mean, getting all the way over here is quite a task. Ooh, look at, so we're going down in water, so we can pause all these guys. We're down to 2,000. Yeah, we'll have all that going. All of this is sorted. Now we can actually, I mean, we only have 3 days left. Let's go back up to 18 hours for the working day since they don't have to go all the way over here. And then I think we should bump these up to normal. Let's get that removed. And then we can start getting some more placed down. And then we can get some storage placed nearby. Let's see, 1, 2. We need to squeeze in some water pumpers. We also want to get some storage. We could just get like a large water tank on here. Oh my gosh, we are so short on planks. Excellent. We have some extra workers. Oh, we have to get this one. Let's do this. Duplicate him. Place him right here. Highest priority. And then we'll get some gears next to it. And obviously we'll collect all this. Yeah, we are needing to get some more lumberjacks. Or get some more wood, I should say. We'll get him. We'll put this guy right here. Yeah, we don't really need the lumberjacks down here. I'd rather have him up top. So let's actually pause him and let's make him higher priority, him lower priority. Yeah, so it's okay that he's not hanging out in here. This guy, he is so far away from everything. We can duplicate him. And then he's lower, that's fine. I think I want to start going with this. Let's see. It's a hydroponic garden, only 5 metal blocks and wood stuff. We talked about that last stream. Blocking the gap with 2 levees. Only 5 metal blocks. Isn't it pretty low metal cost to make? Yeah, the hydroponic garden, it's only, I mean, the main thing I'm concerned about there is the water infrastructure that it takes. Hydroponic garden looks like it is 20 planks, 10 gears, 10 metal parts. So we're slowly bouncing back in gears, metal parts, same thing. Planks are a little bit short, but we also added in a couple lumber mills. And then I'm just nervous on having a commitment of water. So for this guy, it's 192 water for mushrooms over the course of, no, misread that. 40 water over the course of 192 hours. So what is that? 24, that's like 8 days. So it's not too much. Gives us some food, but I feel like we're doing decent on food right now. We have harvested everything. We still don't have any farmers sitting around. Oh, that's not true. That guy is. So let's pause him. We can add in, I think at this point we can remove both of those. Let's add in some stairs, connect it all in. Ooh, in fact, let's do something slightly different. We'll do stairs right here. And then we can plant down a few more soybeans. Okay, he's sitting around, we'll pause him. Lots of micromanaging. Can't really afford to get automation set up, I feel like, quite yet. We are chopping down wood still. This guy's replanting. Excellent, we got this place down. A dump can dump water exactly as fast as a pump can pump it. It's like the mechanical dump, but with beavers connecting front and end instead of a powered pump. 8 days shrooms, 10 days algae. Yeah, that might be worth getting that set up sometime in the next few cycles. A hydroponic garden. 200 science, not crazy amount. So it'd probably be a good kind of a good steady food source as long as we have enough water stored up. We've been okay with water, but yeah. We're getting all this set up. I do want to make sure we keep prioritizing it. That way, as soon as we need to get down here and block this off, we can do that. Ooh, 1.6 thousand science. I'm guessing they removed this one. So let's get all these resources back. And then we might have enough science. 100 gears. We do not have enough gears. Let's get that going. Can remove these paths. So we could unlock this guy. We still have a little bit of extra science. I think we should probably use the metal parts to get some more engines going first. Nothing to do in range. Okay, good job. We cleared all that out. And then we can start unpausing these guys. As soon as the workday's over, we'll let them rest up. So now we gotta rearrange or redo kind of what we have for all our jobs. Because now we have 9 vacancies. Let's see, what do we want to change? We have a bunch of planks now, so we'll pause those 2. And then I think we kind of want to keep the food stuff going. Why on earth is this guy in here? What? I don't get it. We'll leave it paused for tonight. What other jobs? I think getting those metal parts is good. Maybe we'll pause one of them. And the wet season is over. So I think now we have 7 vacant jobs because we have a bazillion water pumps. If we go all the way down, let's see. Lumberjack flags, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are lower priority. And then scavenger flags, we have 2. Yeah, so that's 7. If we have 7 or fewer vacant jobs, then we're doing okay. We can detonate this. Just keep going. Adding in all that dynamite. And then let's go down so I can see. So we'll have another staircase down right here. And then we'll need to add this in. Oh, they won't let you place it under? Interesting. Okay, I'm not exactly sure why that's the case, but it's okay. Ooh. Ooh, water source. Okay, so that's in 11 days. We have, this is going to detonate in 10 days. Okay, so the countdown has officially started. And I'm guessing there's, yep, a bad water source active in 10 days. So let's make sure. Okay. In terms of priority, we're still trying to go down here. So now we got to change some things in the priority list. We got to block this off. because we'll have the bad water go through here. They're obviously working on this right now. And then the contamination. I'm hoping it doesn't spread all the way over here. If needed, we could, I mean, maybe get some irrigation barriers. If we set up, because we have levees, and it kind of changes, I guess, if we have these adjacent to it, then it changes the contamination spread. Because it has to go, the contamination's going down, and then the contamination effects are just spreading outwards. So for right here, it's hitting the levees going down to the ground and spreading out. If we were to block all these off, I think that would reduce some of the contamination. So we could use that to our advantage over here. We would be constricting it down to just 2, which is not the end of the world. But now we can detonate these guys. And then we're good. So we'll bump all this up. And then to get across here, I think we'll go with the 550. How much are bridges? Bridges are a little bit cheaper. But I think we want to go with this overhang. Because we could go up here and then one on top of it. Because we wouldn't be able to place it on the other side because it wouldn't reach. So it is some metal blocks, planks and logs, but that's not too expensive. It basically doubles in price to get to a 4x1. 2x1. Yeah, I think this is the most efficient. Move over the blockage is what stops it from getting to the hole. Has a channel going the opposite way. Okay, so you're talking about over here. So we also, let's see, 1.7 thousand water. Are we going up enough? We might need to get some of these guys going. We'll leave those. We can pause the builders for now. Okay, let's just double check this. So we have this right now. So this will fill this up and then it'll start going up in elevation. So at this point it'll go over here and then it'll start filling this up. So then we have to go back down to the bottom. So it'll fill this up and then it'll start going over here. We're going to block this off because we don't want to dilute our water source. So then it'll start going up. It'll go into here and then, whoops. So then this will all be at the same elevation. So from here, it goes into this one, and I think that's it for this guy. Cause that, yeah. So then it'll start backing up, going up, 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 and then it'll hit this blockage. So we're gonna remove this because we don't want it to just overtop and go everywhere. We have, so I don't know what you're saying exactly. Let's see. Channel going the opposite way. That's science. Yes and no. Blockages by no. Yeah, if we get rid of this, then we have the bad water coming out through here. And then we're getting this set up. So then the bad water will flow this way. Hit all these levees, go here. And then just keep going down into this. And then that's that. Might need to widen this a little bit, but I think worst case scenario we would just like sever this connection and then be without power for a few days. Okay, we are short on fermented soybeans, or on soybeans I should say. We'll switch that guy. Yeah, Steph, if there's something that you think I'm missing, let me know. But otherwise, getting this removed, I think, is going to be important. Okay, they should be able to reach all this stuff now. We'll see. But we have only a few days. Okay, so they're over here, so we need to keep going up. We're going to be racing against the clock. We got to bump all this up to highest priority. Gotta get this unlocked. And then from here, we need an overhang, so I guess we'll just do it like this. And then there's no reason why we... I mean, maybe if we want to like do some tunneling, it might be nice to go in. I'm not sure, but I think we'll just leave like this for now. And then just make sure we can actually reach everything. And then we'll bump all this up higher on the priority list because we want to make sure we can actually block this. If I block the water flow by filling the 2 wide gap with levees, the water will go that way and push away all the bad water. So we'd have the water go this direction. We wouldn't have any water pumpers right here. That means we'd have to pump water way up above. And then we'd have water and bad water going through here. I guess we do have a little bit of a reservoir at that point. If we do block if we do block this, then we could get some water pumpers down here. Okay, I hear what you're saying. So you're just saying to block this one instead. Whole canyon and everywhere downstream of the hole. Yeah, we would, I mean, realistically we would have to block, because that elevation right here, if we want there to be pressure. Ooh, would this, I don't actually know if that would, because it would this would start filling up and then water would be pushed into here and then it would keep rising and then it'd start overtopping here. So then this would have an outlet. Unless we were to build a bunch of levees up around here, which then it would also fill up with bad water during a bad tide. So I hear what you're saying. I think I'm probably just going to stick with what I'm doing. Block it off. And we have a drought approaching. We are not going up in water. We have 1.7 thousand still. Okay, we have to unpause these. Okay, let's just make sure. Okay, so none of this is prioritized by haulers, which I kind of knew. Okay, we gotta get our haulers back up. We have that paused. We can pause a farmhouse for now. I want to slow everything down. Okay, we're doing great on planks. We are maxed out on planks. We don't want these guys sitting around. Gears. We're maxed out on gears. Let's pause the gear workshop temporarily. Okay, so we have all this set to supply now, so hopefully that speeds things up. Doing good on food. Okay, we probably have this guy sitting around too. Let's collect all this stuff. Okay, hopefully we can get some water. Not great that I kind of left those without being supplied by haulers. I thought that it would be fine, but clearly there's a lot of inefficiencies by having the water pumpers bring all the water over here. And then, let's see. I mean, he is still... Okay, we're gonna do this. Oh, I'll show you. We can pause those. Okay, we have a surplus of some resources. I know we could just build some storages, but I don't think that's super high priority at the moment. I think we want to get this all sorted. Send the bad tide to the top over the map. Yeah, I guess we could do that if we wanted to send it this way. Let's see, how close are we over here? We have 6 days. Don't think it should be too much to get all this sorted. Let's make sure we have some of these prioritized though. Okay, looks like we're on our way to get over here. Ooh, we have some beavers who need a job. I like it. We're starting to get some excess resources. And then let's see, we do want to have a double-decker. This is not necessarily the most efficient layout, but it's one that works. We'll get that sorted. We could probably get some more wood storage. I think if we set it up right near here, that would make the most sense. Set that to wood. Actually, we're gonna move it backwards, so we can get 2. We'll have it just set to logs. And then we do want to get... Yeah, we'll place that down. Have it set to gears. I think getting some extra gears is definitely worth doing. And then we'll probably just rearrange all of this down the road. For now it's fine, but we want to get some larger warehouses. And then before we do that, we want to get an get the number cruncher, which we do have a drought approaching, so we won't be able to power it during this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, let's also make sure we're not missing out. Okay, these guys are still going. Have a beaver who's unemployed. One pause farmhouse. So we got some crops they can harvest. Canola's still looking good. Or we can switch one of these 2 fermented soybeans. Let's see. Okay, so I see you're a little concerned about this whole setup. Let's see, so we have that constructed, and this is in the process. We have a day until the drought hits, and then oh, it's gonna be a drought, so we're not gonna have anything happen with this because this is gonna be paused since it's a drought. On the bright side, 1.9 thousand water. So this is gonna detonate in 5 days. So the drought's gonna be underway, but we'll have some extra water pumping that we can do. So that'll keep us going. In terms of water, we're at 2,000 right now. It's gonna be a longer drought, but then we can get, I think we'll just need to get a bunch of water pumpers right here. And then we could even get some up top as well. And I think getting the tubes, I want to get the tubes, but we got to do the number cruncher first. We'll be able to pause all those water pumpers. We could probably get some more. I think let's just get another builder's hut. We'll place it right here. We'll leave it for now. But we'll get this sorted. Looks like they finished that one. And then I think what we could do is, because we have this, it'd be nice if we got some sort of, so we could do a fill valve and then get some automation going. 300 science. Do we need to do that? We don't need to do that quite yet. I think if we get down here, we could get some automation going. With this guy, we would have maybe the depth sensor. We could use a relay, and then that would give us a little bit of extra water storage. Nothing crazy. And then we could do the same down here as well. So those would basically open up when it detects whatever this water height is. So they still haven't constructed that, but we're honestly going to be fine. I think we'll leave all these water pumpers for now because we have a drought. Only 11 days. They are being pretty nice to us. So this next wet season is going to be right here. We only have 11 days until that is upon us. So we are going to start thinking about that. I think we'll do this. We'll add this staircase in so we can get down here, and then we can unlock that pretty soon. As soon as we have this done, we have those. So I think they'll be able to construct that fairly easily. Let's unpause both of those. Ooh. They are now out of power. And then we have to switch. Okay, so now we can, let's see, we don't need these prioritized by haulers, because I think they'll just kind of naturally, they'll get rid of the water. Like obviously the water pumpers are going to have to move a lot more right now, but we need to make sure that we have power in here. New water source in 3 days, but it's a drought, so we won't get anything. Okay, these are set to, oh, well, no wonder it's, well, so that makes sense. The haulers are walking very far away. Have those set to obtain. Okay, my setup was not the most efficient, but we're at the end of it. Pause this guy. We're doing good on wood. Let's get another pile set up quickly. You only need one of these going right now. Don't have a whole lot of things. Let's actually get this builder's hut prioritized as well. Because then we can start pausing a few of these water pumpers. Not all of them, but just a few. Maybe just these two. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is, because I know that you're gung-ho on me pushing water out through here, I think that I'm gonna keep the water going this direction, but if we get some of these fill valves placed down, we'll have it so they're not letting out much water, except with we'll have some automation set up. And then that's going to allow some water to back up. And then during a bad tide, we'll obviously clear it out because there could be bad water. We don't want that piling up. And then we can do that over here as well. We'll probably get some water pumpers, which will be helpful. So we have 10 days to get all the water infrastructure that we need set up. These guys are pumping. I guess we can just leave that for now. Eventually we'll need to remove those. They'll give us some more wood back. We can add in some stairs right here. And then let's get some water storage. We'll do right here, here, and here. These will all be set to water. So they are down here, 1.6 thousand. I think it's worth getting this unlocked now. So let's just go down in elevation. Make it a little bit easier for us. Oh, we have to add in a single staircase. Pump that up a little bit. And they have that last one almost constructed. So we got those, which they can't reach quite yet. Interesting, that's the same elevation as the ones down here. And then we can actually change it. So what I'm thinking is it will have one, let's see, so it's target height, so you can't really adjust like the flow rate exactly. So it'd be more ideal to have this, but we don't have pine resin. So we could probably upgrade those down the road. It wouldn't be the hardest thing. So you have a bunch of trees right here that have pine resin. We also need to unpause this forester. And let's start pausing these guys, because they're going to be pumping all this out. 2.2 thousand water. Let's see, do we have... Okay, we pause this guy. We'll unpause him. Forester's going to be planting. Let's get some berries on the go. Also need to connect all this stuff in. Nice, we have some more gear storage. Ooh, we have no planks. pause him. How much power? Okay, so we can afford this. We'll pause the builder's hut. Just kind of try and keep things a little bit more balanced. Let's plant some more trees down for now as well. Yeah, if we wanted to get the bad water out of here, we'd have to, yeah, dam that up. We could do something like get some floodgates and then push it over here. We could do that. We just have to get all the way up here. Man, we are so short on planks. Okay, let's go like this. We don't need 28 and 34, so this is a closer one. Okay, we obviously need to connect this in. Okay, it's not running, which is good. Pretty much at max power. Slightly below, but 95% is close enough. And 1400 science. Oh man. Okay, so during this drought, we have a few things we need to focus on. Obviously, we're trying to get the water infrastructure set up. We're short on planks, which was an oversight on my part. I should have left something going. But now we have 4 lumber mills up and running. Gears, we can soon, you know, we should probably even just pause those guys, because we want to have them working, get our stores up. Might as well use all the 0.2 days. These guys are still going. Let's watch this go. Yes, silly kaboom. Bye bye water source. Oh, we're gonna lose the water too. Big sad. Oh wait, no we're not, because that's walled off. Okay, so these guys are no longer needed. And then I think we'll just keep removing this stuff down the road. In fact, let's actually supply these guys. Yeah, we'll do the same. Engines are more productive when connected. Yes. We can add another one, but we won't need to do that quite yet. Okay, who is causing all these to go? Okay, these guys are, I don't know. Okay, so I think if he's taking resources from here, it's still counted as being on, which is weird. Okay, so we got some more log storage. Higi still has some planting to do. 7 days. So we are very short on planks still. But we can start making these priority. And then we only have 4 builders' huts right now, because we tossed a bunch of them, or a bunch of the workers in here. This guy is replanting, so that's good news. Pretty soon we can pause these 4. Okay, we don't need to prioritize that by haulers. This one can stay prioritized. They're dumping their water all the way over here. So that's fine. And we do have scrap metal over here. Do the valves have highest priority? I think they are high priority, but not highest. I guess we probably want to get the... Oh wait, no they're not. They're just normal. 6.6 days. We want one of these to be highest. We'll go... I think we want to set up like this, because we want to have some water storage. Okay, they finished that one. And then, yeah, they're going to start working on this. So they're going to be working on kind of all this stuff over here. And then... So we're going to not sink these. Not sink, not sink. So this is not a perfect system. I think for now we'll have target height as 0, because we'll have this closed. We could even close another one. This one, I guess we can just go like 0.1. We just want some water to be building up. And this is definitely going to be a tweak it kind of thing. So, and then let's unsync all of these. We'll have this one set to 0. This one will also be set to 0 for now. This one will have a low height. Let's go like 0.15. And then we're probably going to have a little bit of flooding, but we'll be checking in on it very frequently. Okay, we're at 2,000 water. Thankfully, over here is much closer. So, set this to supply, prioritized by haulers. These are not set to obtain. Now we want all of these. Well, we don't necessarily need to be prioritized by haulers. I think these are all already set like that. Can you do it like this? If I do copy. Nope. We do want to actually collect those. Okay. Pause these guys. Eventually we'll collect all those resources. But we still have a decent amount of water and logs, so not super important at the moment. Instead we have these guys. We'll copy settings. And then I think we need to get some more of this set up as well. Now these are not quite as important. Also, let's see, I was thinking about where the tubes are going to be going. We might have the tube station. No, I think I wanted to have it right here, because that'd be really close to the water. And then we'd have another one down here, kind of closer to these guys. Obviously you're not unlocking it quite yet. The number cruncher, 1,500 science. It's a lot of gears. We're doing really good. Ooh, we're maxed out. Let's just get some more metal parts. Just store up as much as we can. Let them keep working. We want the blockage of the new bad water source, because without it, we'll flow downstream, but with it, we'll spread out into the hole. I assume you're talking about this one. So, without the blockages, it's still going to fill everything up before. Because you can see this elevation is like the highest. And then it's going to fill this up, go to here, and then just start filling everything up. And then eventually, once it's filled up a bunch of these, then it's going to start flowing. And then we do have it set up now. So it'll be diverted, go all the way over here, And then I think we should, while we have the opportunity, let's get this prioritized. And then we're going to go like this. We will remove those. And then we'll put in another one of these. Because we'll have some extra bad water flowing through here. I don't want to have anything back up and spill over and all that. So we are bouncing back on planks, which is good news. This is almost done. Same with these. We can just leave it at normal. And then automation. I want to have it based off of a depth sensor. So that's 200 science. We're going to have one set up right here. And so this is just going to basically prevent any overtopping. We'll do one right here. And so that's going to be set not to there. We'll go 1.75. So let's, can we do that? Sync it with this one. And then this one, let's say if we raise that up. Okay. I think we have to have them both. That one should be independent. So let's automate those based off of this. And then let's see. So this is going to be turned on. It doesn't really matter. If the measurement is greater than 1.75, then we'll have it turn off. If it's less than 1.75, it's on. So when it's on, we want that target height to be 0. When it's off, 0.1. And then we could actually do the same for this guy. In fact, we might even want it all to be synced up. Because basically, once it's gotten up to here, then we're okay with some water flowing out. But if the water level drops, then we want it to be closed. And so this will be turned on because the height is below, and then on it's 0. Okay. That's sorted. We can actually sync all those up. And then we'll just do the same thing. We'll copy settings. We'll need to change the numbers a little bit. So yeah, 1.75 is way too low. But we'll go to 5.75. And then this, when it's on, that's on when it's less than. When it's on, we want it to be 0. When it's off, yeah, we'll just stick with like 0.2. I might need to change that. In fact, we could probably start, let's go with like 0.5 at first. We might lose a little bit of extra water, but and in fact, I think at first we're going to let some water flow into here. And then let's just bump these up. So they have almost finished all of those. These ones they're working on. And then we'll need some more water pumpers. And then we'll just get even more, honestly. No reason not to have a bunch of them. Look at that. They're going to be very close friends. And then these are all highest priority for the workplaces, which is excellent. So I think we should bump all this up on the construction priority list. We'll bump it up. We have 3 days. So we're doing great. It's on pause. Let's do a little bit of rearranging of some jobs. So we can pause a couple lumberjack flags. This guy's planted pretty much everything. Pause those two. Oh, we gotta unpause him. Pause him and him. And then, let's see. I want to get stuff. Okay. Food is still looking good. We have all this paused. That's good. Okay. Just checking, making sure we have everything done. Oh, we got down here. Let's do this, and obviously that is not good. Highest priority, we have to get that done ASAP, and then just make sure we're not pulling them into some other direction. Okay, we're going to set this slightly lower than that water wheel. I think they should be able to construct this really quickly. It's just logs. That's it. Obviously we are making all them sit around, which is not ideal. And then we will start adding in some more of that. Some more water pumps, or water storage tanks. We can get the number cruncher soon. We have enough science for it. We are still a little bit short on gears, and then we're doing good on planks. So I love seeing all that. Okay, we are doing good on corn. We're doing really good on corn. Fermented cassavas. Do we have soybeans? Yeah, we have soybeans. We still have canola oil. I hope they can finish this. Okay, that's almost done. Oh, we got some more trees. I think we just gotta leave it for now. We'll switch the foresters. Okay, so they constructed that. This is going up in priority. Okay, so those are all connected once again. Ooh. Oh, we're short on scrap metal? Okay. Pause. We'll bump this up. Ooh, we don't have enough workers. Yeah, we have... I'm really glad that we have this stuff. Uh-oh, we gotta connect it in. Wrong side. Yeah, I think in this set of wet seasons and all that, we'll be able to get the tubes going. So we're down to 1.1 thousand water. We have some water storages. I think we could honestly just keep placing down some storages. Oh, let's also pause these guys for now. Looking good. So we have that blocked off. So we'll have water come through here. Oh, we gotta get that prioritized. We don't want any overtopping. And then we've been through this. We just gotta get those sorted. We can also start demolishing this guy. Bump it up. The main thing I'm worried about is when the bad water comes through here, that we might have some contamination spread down over here. So if that's the case, it would not be good. We'd lose some trees. I think we would well, we could lose like pretty much all these oak trees. If that is the case, and we just need to rapidly add in some levees over here, I think that would be enough. So we'll kind of see how that goes. And then we have, whoops, we have this guy. So these are set to 0.25 for now. These are set to 0. Oh my gosh, we have 10 vacant jobs. We gotta start pausing stuff that we don't need. Is this one really harder than Beaver yeah, this one is very difficult. I'm playing on hard mode, so it's harder than, you know, regular mode, obviously. But you can't build like a permanent dam and try and capture the water like you can for the pretty much every other map. So that has definitely made it more difficult. Also, let's start unpausing everything, make sure we have all of our jobs balanced. Let's make sure fluid dumps. 19 jobs. We're going to pause those two. We're going to pause some of our production buildings. And then we can pause one of those. We'll probably pause 2 more. And then we just have to keep going on a pausing tear. Because we still need to pause more jobs. I think we're doing great on metal parts. So I'm going to pause 2 of them. We don't have scrap metal, so we'll leave those 2 going. These 2 are lower, so that's okay. And then we got the water coming. Let's see, which one did we... Okay, that one looks like it's topped off. I think we're doing good on crops, so we can pause this guy. So we have 4 farmhouses, that's still plenty. We have a lot of raw materials for food. And then we're doing pretty good on food. So now we only have 3 jobs that are vacant. Okay. That's flowing through here. And so now we should see the water start to stack up. So they're pumping. These are all set to supply. So we have 1,000 water. And we probably only have like 6 days, I would guess, to pump. But it's so much closer. Ooh, we have... Let's slow it down. What can he work on constructing? 1.7 thousand science. I think we finally need to go get the number cruncher. So let's just put it... We go all the way back here. We go on this side. Let's just go right here. So let's start dumping resources into that. We do not have a lot of gears. So we have both of those still going. We could get some more. This guy, switch him to cassavas. Ooh, we're maxed out. I think we'll just pause this guy entirely. We're gonna pause. No, let's actually switch so we have 10 hauling posts again. And then let's unpause. How do we even plant those trees? I guess we didn't plant all of them. But we'll see that number start to go up pretty quickly, I think. We'll at least get another 1,500 water. So, I like that. Bad water is back. We're doing not fantastic on wood, so we're gonna do this. I think we need to like super high prioritize all this stuff. And then we'll get that eventually. Okay, so clearly that flow rate is not enough. Target height 0.5. Oh, we need to go to unlimited. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of trial and error, as you guys can probably see. So there should be some more water flowing out through here now. Right? Yeah, water is now flowing. And then this is going to be flowing out very quick. Unlimited. Once that goes, let's go to 1.6. Okay, so that's opened. Oh, okay, we're gonna... This is not gonna be fun. Let's just... It's gonna be some swishing and... Oh gosh. Yeah, throttling valve... Oh man. Throttling valve would have probably made more sense. But, like I said, we couldn't really construct it. We're just gonna see everything sloshing around. Gosh. Okay, well... Could we even just lower that? Let's just go really low. Basically, let all the water flow out. How? Oh, there's also... Uh-oh. How did I not see this? So this is going to fill up and then just spill all over here. Yikes. Okay, so the blockage didn't matter at all. So now we have to make this the highest priority. Oh gosh. I'm going to have to remove this eventually. We're going to set this up. So right now I want to think about being able to quickly construct stuff. We're still filling. Oh man, this is going to start rising very quickly. Okie dokie. Okay, so we have... Oh my gosh, this thing is... What if... what the heck? Okay, let's just unautomate these. Unlimited, let's just see what that's like. Hopefully that'll prevent some flooding. So that's gonna go, I think that might sort this out. Okay, there we go. We're gonna also do some storage. See, obtain, set to logs. Let's change the priority. So this is highest also. This is going to be lower because we just want to get those filled up. That'll make it faster for the builders. Okay, all hands on deck. We got to get all those guys going. We are going to pause one of you. And then call the gear workshop. Now we'll leave that going. Okay, so this is just about to overtop, so we are removing him. Because, yes. Not good. We're going to lose all these crops. So let's set to harvest. We have corn. Oh, we don't want corn rations. We want this to be corn. We want to harvest all the corn we can. That's filling this up. It's gonna go here, kill all the... Oh geez, we gotta do this. I don't love doing this, but we will have to. I might as well do it along here. Drought approaching in 3 days. Let them keep pumping. So at least it's going to be a drought, so we can store all that up. We'll have to get this sorted for a bad tide. Okay, now it is time to remove those. And we're going to kill all those. Lots of crops dying. Prioritize by haulers. Store all the corn you can. I don't know how I didn't see that. Let's see. That's why water pushing back would save the day. Mild flooding, we just make the bad water get diluted. Yeah, if we had water pushing out, then... I mean, I still would have had to build all the infrastructure up here. So it would be diluted. So you're not wrong. But we're going to adjust, do what we can. We'll have this added in, and then that's going to push the bad water over here. And then... yeah, we're doing great on water. We're at 2,000. That's only after 4 days. And then I'm honestly kind of hoping that this is a long drought, because that means we have time to deal with stuff, and then we'll be able to collect a lot of the water from here. We have the gears going. We're just short on gears is kind of the big thing. can speed it up a little bit. Okay, we don't really need this anymore now that we can reach over here. I just wanted to... Honestly, I think we can probably just remove... We'll get this one going. Then they can construct this faster. We have some water flowing into here. Oh, we don't need... I left these engines going. We're getting plenty of power. Oh my goodness, look at all this. Oh, we haven't connected this in. They're working on this. This is normal. We should probably bump these up. We're gonna have to change this also. Let's go like that. And then there is still some flooding going on, obviously. Oh, look at that. So we are almost done. Okay, that contamination, let's see how far it spreads. We are getting lucky. Yeah, so that's a little concerning. I mean, as long as we have it kind of isolated like this, and we don't have beavers walking over here, then we can just kind of leave it like this. 2.6 thousand water is good news. Let's unpause this guy. And then I think we'll just have it set to, okay, 16-day drought. We're finally getting into, let's go here. This, ooh. So now we gotta, so now we don't have flow. Let's just make it so it's 0. So we don't want any water leaving here. And then for these guys, I don't think we don't need to have any automation right now. For now, we'll just have the target height is 0.5. We're going to even do like 0.75. So this is basically just going to allow water to, you know, constantly be filling this up. And so then we'll add in all this stuff. Oh, we have to add in some paths. Unpause this discharge. Food is dropping. Oh, we need to get our power back on. Okay, we have 10 vacant jobs. We can pause a few of these water pumpers. So we're doing really good on water. Those all need to be prioritized by haulers, but they are. We might just need some more haulers. Yeah, so with this, yeah, it's having trouble getting through here. I mean, it's 3 wide. I'm a little surprised that it's like, it's overflowing so much. I know in the beginning we did have some weird stuff with the different fill valve heights, but I mean, now it's working. But yeah, getting some sort of diversion system set up, that might be a good idea. We are in the process of getting this constructed. We're still short on gears. Logs were starting to drop. And then we need to get this stuff sorted. And then we can start removing these, getting those resources back. So as soon as we can get over here, we can do that. And then, very soon, we can start getting these unlocked. Still need gears, planks, and metal blocks. Making a good amount of those. Okay, so they planted the crops back. And then we gotta get over here. Let's make sure we have all the fluid dumps unpaused. Cool, looks like they are. Okay, we can also, we need to get the storage figured out as well. We still have some extra space. Let's get rid of this guy. We can collect this stuff. But we're going to need more gears. And then also we'll eventually need some more planks. If I see this start to drop, then we're going to have to get more planks on the go. 2.8 thousand water. We'll see how that changes over the course of the drought. We did pause some farmhouses. And I think at this point we can get a couple more breeding pods. These should be prioritized by haulers. I don't think we've had a problem so far, but we'll just make sure they are. And then we are going to need another engine as well. And then we could just, yeah, we'll just have it next to here and it'll be connected in. Yeah, we'll get the pods in. That'll help our population grow up. I didn't really want it to increase because I was a little nervous about having enough water and food, but it seems like we're doing pretty good on both. We're going to have longer droughts, so obviously we need to get more water storage. But now that we're doing, like, we have a decent amount of trees, we're going through our wood fairly quickly because we're using it, for the engines and then also all these other things. But we still have a lot of wood, honestly, stored in these resources or in these buildings. So we can collect those. Those set to supply. We honestly just don't even want... Yeah, because they're putting more in here. We don't want them walking all the way over here. Let's remove all of this. Because we don't even want storing stuff over here to be an option for them. And then this, we'll do the same. He's planted a bunch of trees. He can get a few more, then we can switch over to this guy. In fact, we can just do that right now. Oh, nice. I got that done. So 1200 out of 810, so we still have some extra power. Okay, we don't even necessarily need all these going. Pause this one. We'll just have those two turn on for now. And then let's see. So 660. We almost have enough for getting the tube station unlocked. And then I think we'll get the first one placed right here. And then the second one we'll place it somewhere over here. Or maybe we just go right on top of this. That way we can use it. Well, how do we want to do this? I think we'll go tubes over here. Yeah, for now we'll just do it up. Let's make sure we unmark this. Oh, and unmark this. We're obviously short on gears, but we are getting close. Yeah, I think we're just, yeah, we're almost here. We have 10 gears left. Some of it, I think, is in transit. You can see where all these guys are. Yeah, they're collecting all this stuff. So, I think it's fine that they're focusing on this at the moment because we don't want those resources to disappear. And then eventually we'll clear all this out and the water pumpers, all that stuff. But we're still going up in water. So that's good news. We're trending upwards still. We will also soon, not yet, but soon we'll think about getting the large tank unlocked, and then we can place down just a few of them because these are 300 storage a pop. So I think I want to get another maybe medium tank placed here, at least for a little while, but that's only storing 1800 water versus if we just had two of these guys we can store 2400. So much more efficient in terms of space. We could even fit them right here. And then obviously we want to get rid of all the small ones. We still have some beavers who need a house. What the heck? They're just hanging out over here. We could probably also get their well-being up. Scratcher. 100 science. I think yes. And then we'll just do a couple of those over here. Massage. This is going to be higher priority. I think this stuff is still highest. He's sitting around. We'll pause him. We got a tired beaver. We are getting some gear stored up, which I am liking that. Those two are still normal. Yeah, we're doing pretty good in terms of power and that we're using and supplying. Okay, we are almost done collecting the water from here. So I think what we need to do for the next drought, well, the thing is that I'm guessing it's going to be a bad tide next. So we won't have the luxury of collecting all this stuff, all the water during a, 5 days into a drought. So we need to collect all the water that we can ahead of time. So we could just add some more of these. Like right here, because this is close enough. Could also get some stored over here. Might just want to add some right here because it's close enough. Yeah, we're still a little bit short on gears. But we still have, 11 days to get that sorted out. This will be lower on the construction site priority list. You're definitely not short on gears, they're just doing other stuff. And I think they should be pretty much done with that. We have one set of stairs I would like to connect in, and then we can get some more houses. We'll leave those at normal priority. Drop some of this stuff to lower. Nice. Okay, so now we do need to get... Okay, excellent. So let's unpause this guy. As long as we get stuff in here. Excellent, so now we're going to be racking up science like crazy. So we can unlock this. We're still short on gears. Planks are looking good though. 700 science. We'll get the first one placed here, and then the second one placed right here. So we have a million different routes that we can go. I'm just going to go over top this path for now. And then we can add in, some stops along the way. But for now, we'll just go like this. Whoops. Okie dokie, and then we can just have a couple of the doubles, which we're going to be burning through our planks like nobody's business. And then we have to unlock both the tubeway and the vertical tubeway. I think we'll do the tubeway first once we get 500 science, which is going to be pretty quick now that we have this number cruncher going. And we can also pause all of these guys. Now we have 2 beavers who need a job. Oh my gosh, we went through all of our planks. Okay, we are almost perfectly balanced in terms of power produced and supplied, or produced and consumed. And then logs are doing okay. We can slowly start removing these. And then we really could even collect these if we needed to, but for now I think we'll leave it. I do want to get rid of these because this is kind of misleading in how much water storage we have. I don't really want to be storing water in these guys. 700. Let's do the vertical first because we can get those placed down right down here. And then we'll, because we don't even have enough planks to construct all this stuff now. So we got up to, what was it? Probably like 2,900, 3,000-ish water. And then, okay, it'd be nice to have a weather vane, but we can set that to unlimited, and then this will set to unlimited. We'll see what happens if there's any water that backs up if we have everything set to unlimited during the next wet season. And then I'm hoping that we don't have any contamination issues with this. Also, let's get some logs back. So we are going back up in planks. We are almost at, no wait, we are enough. We have the tubes unlocked. I am 11 this. Obviously we still have to construct everything. But let's make all this a little bit higher. Get that sorted out. And I think as soon as we wrap up the tubes construction, we're going to call it for today, because we are at almost 3.5 hours once again. These have been some of the longest live streams that I've done, and they have been a ton of fun. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this playthrough. It is probably the most dynamic you can be in Timberborn because you don't have one spot that you're setting up shop at. What are we running short on? Fermented soybeans. We don't have any of those. And then what else? Fermented cassavas are doing great on, but we'll need to get some more storage. But having these tubes in will help everything just run smoother. So we only have 4,500 water storage, but we really have less than that. Still short on planks, but kind of going to be that way for a while. I think for now, we can add in a couple piles. One set to logs, one set to planks. So I wonder if they're even using the tubes yet. No, because they're bringing... Huh. Guess they haven't needed to hop in it yet. But I'm very excited to see this up and running. We could probably also get... Let's see, where do we want to put another one? I think we want to have some sort of, you know, tube station over here. We could put one right here. Kind of a little midpoint. Alternatively, we could go right here. Honestly, I think we get rid of these two guys, and then we do this. Nice. Okay, so they are just about done. Okay, they're hopping in. Look at that. So we're still short on planks, but we have a whole system going, so we can produce them pretty well. And then this number cruncher is going to be essential moving forward. We'll need some more metal blocks, so we'll probably need to replace these right here with the smelter soon. Nice. Tubes are awesome. I think this is going to make the next wet season that much better, because they can just pop over here and then dump all the water they need. Since we are short on plank still, keep these guys going. This guy, yeah, we need to we need to figure our storage out. I have a bunch of kind of small storages. Unfortunately, these ones do take a lot of planks. So we got to get our plank storage up as well. At least for now, we can duplicate this. Can't really access that top one. This is kind of all temporary storage, so. But I think that is where we're going to wrap up today's episode. Let's just get to daytime. But we can do a quick recap. So we just hit 1,000 science, so that is awesome. This number cruncher has been paying for itself immediately. We are doing decent on logs, short on a lot of other stuff except for metal parts, which is good, since those do take a while to produce. Food is much better than it was at the beginning of today's episode, but we'll need to make sure we have enough of that moving forward. So I know that we have talked about the hydroponic garden. It's only 200 science. I think we can unlock that and figure out where we want to place it in the next episode, because I want to do a bunch of rearranging. Like specifically, all our storage is kind of jacked up, and then same with our water storage. I want to upgrade that so we can be more efficient in our space. We do have these guys ready to pump during the next wet season. We only have 3 days. I'm guessing we're going to be at like 1,200 water. So they will be pumping rapidly. We have the tube station and our first tube network up and running. So like I mentioned, that's going to be very helpful. And then I think that's just about it. We made it past everything over here. So maybe we remove these guys and call it good for them. make sure they collect all this stuff. But yeah, this is a great live stream. Steph, glad you were here. You were chit-chatting a bunch. We had some other people at the beginning. We had Sand Artist, you were here. And then Mr. Awesome Dairy was here for a while. And then, let's see, Lucky showed up. Yeah. We had a few familiar faces. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We are through cycle, or I guess live stream, not video. But we're through cycle 10, just about to wrap up that drought. And next time we're going to see how the tube network fares with a wet season, and we'll just take it from there. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate all you guys showing up. This is a ton of fun, and I will see you guys next weekend. Take care everyone.